Hello everybody, Infernape Shinjo here, and welcome to a video that I am sure no one has ever done before. I kid, of course, but today I am going to be listing off what my team is going to be for the Diamond and Pearl remakes. To be more specific, Brilliant Diamond, because the first game I played from the Gen 4 games was the original Diamond, so I figure I'll go ahead and play Diamond again. Now, this is actually hard to explain, and I'll get to it a little bit later, but obviously the games aren't out yet. There's no way of knowing if all of these Pokemon will be available 100%. So I'm going into this hoping that this is going to be my team. There are probably going to be some changes, but this is what I'm hoping that my team is going to end up being. And at the same time, considering it's a new game and it seems like the experience share is going to work similarly to the recent games, it's probably going to be a little bit easier, so that might be why I choose more obscure Pokemon for my team. But obviously you can't start the game without picking a starter. And my starter, if it wasn't obvious already, is Empoleon. I know, it's kind of insane that me, being my favorite Pokemon is Infernape, isn't actually picking Infernape. And the main reason is I have never used anything from the Piplup line in any Sinnoh game. It's funny that recently I replayed through Platinum to get myself in the mood for the Diamond and Pearl remakes, and I started out with Turtwig there. So I have never used an Empoleon, so I figured this is the perfect time to do it. And considering the fact that Empoleon is a water steel type is really interesting, and a type that has never been done up to this point and still not to this day, correct me if I'm wrong. And the theme I'm going to try and go with this first playthrough is using mons that I never have before, or at least not recently, which is why my second mon is going to be Houndoom. And this is where it gets tricky, because there is a revealed trailer that came out recently before the remakes were announced, that there's this Pokemon hideaway thing that, depending on the statues that you place in the Grand Underground, I think it's called now, you can get access to different mons. Like there's an icy cavern that you can get Munchlax in, and there's a whole bunch of other mons that I can't think of at the moment, but it was either a Houndoom or a Houndour that was in one of them. So I'm going to hope to get Houndoom for my team for my fire type, because obviously Sinnoh is notorious for not having a fire type wide selection. In the original it's only the starter and Ponyta. I'd rather not use Ponyta since I used that as my fire type when I played through Platinum. But the only problem is I don't know if I'll be able to get Houndoom. Considering that there's no news on these hideaways, they might be post-game for all I know, which, if they are, that makes this list inaccurate. So I'm hoping that I'll get access to Houndoom, or if not, I'll have to find another fire type. But obviously, I can't have a full solid team without having a fire, water, and grass core. And my grass type is going to be Roserade. It's another interesting, unique mon that I have never used. In a way, I kind of like the idea of capturing a Budew early on and raising it up with friendship and evolving it into a Roserade. Again, this might be inaccurate since I don't know where you'll be able to get the evolutionary item, but hopefully it won't be that difficult. So since I got my solid fire, water, grass core, what's the next type that I'm going to add? Well, I had no idea actually. I mean, I have some ideas written down, and the first one I'm going to hope to add is a Drifblim. Like I said, it's a mon that I haven't used, much like a lot of these, and considering that in the original games you can get a Drifloon from Valley Windworks on Fridays after the Team Plasma event there, I'm hoping that I'll be able to add it to my team. And it's another mon that I haven't used. I don't know if it's better special or physical. I have no idea about anything involving Drifblim, but it's a cool mon. And the last 100% solid mon that I'm going to add to my team is Toxicroak. Now, Toxicroak is kind of an outlier from everything else because I feel like I have used Toxicroak. I know I've like made a competitive set, competitive in air quotes, in Sword and Shield because he's available there. I think I gave it like Bullet Punch, Fake Out, stuff like that. I can't remember exactly. But Toxicroak is certainly a mon that I've used a lot more than the other ones. But the problem lies that when I typically play through a Diamond and Pearl game, if I choose Chimchar, I don't get Toxicroak on my team because at the full evolved stage, they're both fighting types and I don't want to have that much of an overlap type. And at the same time, Toxicroak being 4 times weak to Psychic isn't exactly helpful, but Toxicroak's just cool. I really like Toxicroak, and considering the big impact that it has in the Great Marsh, I feel like it'll be easier to get than the original games. That's really my solid team. At the same time, like I said, I don't know what is actually going to be available or locked behind post-game. But other mons that I'd like to use, depending on how easy I can get them, are Ambipom. The main reason for that is I like Aipom. I've grown to like Aipom recently. I have no idea why, it just kind of happened. But the problem is it can only be found in honey trees, and it's a very small percentage. So hopefully they'll make it easier to get Ambipom. Otherwise, I can't really add it to my team 100% because I don't know if I'll be able to get it. The same goes for Yanmega. Now, if I'm not mistaken, you can't get Yanma in the original Diamond and Pearl. That's only in Platinum. I noticed they locked a lot of new evolutions behind post-game in Diamond and Pearl, and they added them back in Platinum. But again, another cool mon, unfortunately quad weak to rock, but I just like the design and the fact that it gets speed boost just makes it even more interesting to me. And at the same time, there are so many mons in the Sinnoh region that I love. If I wouldn't have Drifblim on my team, I might get Honchkrow instead. But then again, maybe not, because I already have a Houndoom for a dark type. I'm not entirely sure. I am gonna kind of play it by ear, because if the game is gonna be easy, or like racing games, especially with the experience share, and it seems like the box system is gonna be the same as in Sword and Shield, where you can just right click and go to your box. If I can easily access my box like that, then it'd be easier to have different mons on my team and just rotate out depending on what the situation needs. Like what Ash did in the black and white anime, he caught multiple mons, more than 6. So I kind of want to do that. And there are just so many cool mons from Sinnoh that I wouldn't mind. And obviously, all of that goes out the window if I get a shiny. If I get a shiny, I'm definitely going to add that to my team. It's funny that I wrote in my Discord, you guys want to see what my team's going to be for the remakes, and people were down with it. But at the same time, afterwards, I realized I didn't really have a solid team. Like, obviously, I'm going to pick Piplup regardless of the situation, but Houndoom is uncertain, Ambipom's uncertain, Yanmega's uncertain. There are so many mons that aren't clear yet, but at the same time, I don't know if I'll know for sure until after the games come out, so I wanted to get this out, and if anything changes, I could either just make a new video or whatever, because I'm not going to record it because that's too much effort on my part. I'll just play it in my downtime. Yeah, that is going to be this video. Let me know if you're going to get the remakes. If you are, what's your team going to be? And for all we know, there might be some super special mon that they add in that might just throw everything out of the water. It doesn't seem like they're adding new mons, but who knows. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Momentai.